Cam from NZXT. Monitor your games while playing. To learn more, check out the description. Hey guys, it's the Honey Badger here, and it is time for Badger's picks for the week of August 2nd. We're going to see who's free this week and which 4 champions I'm going to recommend. Free this week, there will be Caitlyn, Ezreal, Gangplank, Jace, Lee Sin, Lulu, Oriana, Shaco, Singed, and Taric. And for my first champion recommendation for the week, I'm going to give that one over to Oriana. I like Oriana a lot. I think she's a lot of fun. The other reason why I like to recommend her as someone you should try out is there's really not a ton of Oriana mains. And in fact, somebody tweeted at me, there hasn't been a lot of Oriana played recently, and I think that's a mistake. People should be playing her. She's always been an impactful champion because of the diverse role she can carry for a team. She can play as a mid lane mage that is supportive, granted still dealing damage, but supports the team, helps with initiations and shielding and speeding up and all types of stuff. She can just kind of be like a utility mage. But she's also good at nuking people with damage when it gets to the late game, because she does actually quite a lot of damage, or has the capabilities of doing quite a lot of damage. A lot of people aren't awesome at playing her. It's because she's not the easiest mid lane mage to play. Positioning of the ball makes it difficult, but if you are good with her, or at least if you're willing to practice with her to become better with her, you can be very, very powerful and kind of a surprising power, like just overly surprising when it comes to team fights, because positioning well will result in lots of damage, lots of kills, and lots of assists, and people will be very surprised. So she's very good. I think she's fun to play too, so you should try her out this week. My second recommendation for the week is going to go over to Gangplank. Gangplank, despite his nerfs slowly over time, is still in a pretty good spot and still does plenty of damage. Definitely still gets played in the LCS and in other regions as well, and for that, he's still a strong champion. If you didn't really ever own him, or if you never really played him after his rework, he became a much better champion all around, due to just having way more available for his kit. Previously, obviously, just being able to shoot people and auto attack was about all he could do. Now he at least has barrels to have a huge impact in the late game, and his barrels is still where it is at when it comes to just massive amounts of damage as Gangplank. The other nice thing too about him is, build-wise, he's been pretty simplistic and straightforward. Even with the changes to Trinity Force, it's still a really good item on him to pick up. And he does get a little bit of attack speed out of it now instead of crit, which the crit was good, don't get me wrong, but the attack speed's nice as someone who would honestly pretty much never really specifically build attack speed. He gets a little bit now, and it's not too bad. Gangplank's just fun. And the other nice thing too is if you're somebody who pays attention across the map, you can pick up lots of kills and assists with his ultimate, and that's an easy way, honestly, early on in the game when he's not his strongest in the early ranks. Hit 6, drop an ult on bot lane, get a couple assists, get some gold in your pockets from almost doing nothing. Obviously, you've helped assist in those kills, but you didn't have to do any like official work to get some gold in your pockets to slowly start to snowball you ahead. It's just something you should do if you're playing him, and that's why I'm recommending him this week to play. My third recommendation for the week goes to Lee Sin. Lee Sin, still a strong jungler, still a viable pick, still someone that if you are an early ganker, if you're someone who likes to make an impact on lanes, yes, I'm assuming there is a jungler out there that likes to do that, this is the champion for you. I mean, just period. He can get in and do good work early on and snowball an advantage. And then he can invade with a little bit of damage that he's then bought from the gold he's acquired early, and then start to impact the enemy jungler to a point where they become angry that you're invading and that you're killing them in the face. So Lee Sin, just like the early game jungler that we need, but we don't deserve. Not even really that, but he's just good if you like early game stuff. Obviously, he can be okay late game if you build straight damage. But for the most part, you gotta transition him into a little bit more of a tanky engager and set things up with the kick that he has. But besides that, I definitely think you should play him this week. Also, when it comes to technicality, or if you want to try to get good with someone who's not exactly the easiest to play, Lee Sin's a good choice. Not that he's like the world's hardest champion to play, but if you miss your Q and you can't jump to wards or to allies or position people to get kicked well, you're less impactful. That's just what's going to happen. So he can be kind of fun and a challenge. So if you just, want somebody who has a little bit of intricacy to them, you might want to try him out this week. And for my final pick for the week, I'm going to give that one over to Caitlyn. Caitlyn, we've been seeing a little bit more again. She did see a few nerfs earlier on in the season, and some buffs actually too. But I really still like Caitlyn. The long range aggression and poke that she has in lane is really good. Another reason why you're probably going to start to see her a little bit more now is because of First Blood for turrets. She's really good at dealing damage to turrets early. She can push waves very quick with her Piltover Peacemaker, and she can also set up a very good defensive trap line that makes it harder for enemy teams to take turrets. All in all, it's just a really good sieging tactic, and it's a good way to get some extra gold into your team's pockets. Late game, she does plenty of damage, we all know that, and she stays really safe for the most part because she has her 90 caliber net to push her away from enemy champions and stay safe, let alone the best range base in the game. So Caitlyn's really strong. I think she's a blast to play too. One thing I will always say, and make sure you don't do this, is never ult someone who is close enough that you could just auto attack them. And the time it takes for her to do the full wind up and calculation and dialing in of the ultimate, you could have probably auto attacked them to death. And the later the game goes, the more true that gets. Even though the damage is going to go up on her shot or ace in the hole, you just autos with crits, like 2 of them are going to outweigh an ace in the hole. So use ace in the hole when they're way out of range and running. Use your auto attacks when they're in your face. Don't just think of her ult as a way to nuke someone to death. You get the same amount of autos off. It's going to kill them probably faster, and you won't be standing still. Just trust me. It's a million times better. Don't make that mistake. Try her out this week. Those are the champions that are free this week. Those are the 4 I'm recommending. I will go over everyone else briefly to let you know what I think about them and if you want to try them. Ezreal, still decent, but you need to be good to land abilities and have a good impact there. If you don't, he honestly doesn't do much later in the game. Jace, I like Jace. He's a fun champion. Doesn't find the most play in any region really, specifically, or in professional play. Definitely good though, and if you are a good Jace player, you can do a lot of damage early and snowball really hard. Lulu, pretty good. Did see some changes. More of a support nowadays, but still can deal damage, obviously, in the mid lane. I've seen it myself. She can be good if you want to play a support and try her out now down there. You can do that. Shaco, I have nothing, honestly, to say about the champion. If you're like a Shaco main, you obviously play the crap out of Shaco. If you don't play Shaco a lot, then you probably don't play Shaco at all. It's just kind of how it works. You either play him or you don't. Singed, still needs a rework. Just putting it out there. If he gets ahead, obviously he gets tanky and can be annoying, but really not super impactful. And Tarek, pretty good support, honestly. I don't play him much myself, but he can have a good impact, and if you do things right with him, it can be kind of fancy looking because he's so fancy looking. But those are the champions that are free. If there's a box around any of these portraits, you can click on it. It will take you into some type of video for that champion. Be sure to click on them and check them out. Let me know who you will be playing down below in the comments. I always like to know who you guys are playing, because why the hell not? And then I can maybe make videos if you all like, yeah, I really like Gangplank too. We should get a new build for him. Yay! But that'd have to be everybody agreeing, obviously. But those are the champions. I wish you all the very best of luck this week, though, on the fields of justice.